Hello, girls and boys. How are you today? We're going to start off today. This is week 5, and we're going to do the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. But we're going to start off first of all for our song. We're going to do hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today? How are you today? Are you doing good? I'm doing good. And today is going to be about one of my favorite all-time stories, the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. And guess what? We're going to talk about last week. We did gnomes. How many got their stuff built for the gnomes? I didn't see very many pictures. I want to see more pictures. But for Mr. Nate Compton, who sent in a picture, he won a prize. We got 2 free blizzards and another gnome book. So Nate, you are the lucky winner for that, in the drawing, and I will be sending this out to you. And this week, when we get our stories done, and we talk about your crafts, send me pictures. And all those pictures that I get, I'm gonna put their names in a drawing, and I'm gonna draw out. We're gonna have this special mask of the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. And we're gonna have some free small ice cream cones. So if you wanna be part of that, send in your pictures. Okay, did you know there's more stories about the 3 little pigs than just the classic one? First of all, we're gonna read the classic one, but this is, I would say, from the pig's point of view. This one is from the wolf's point of view. And then this one turns the whole story around completely, and it's about the 3 little wolves and the big bad pig. And then over here, we have the 3 ninja pigs. So, I mean, there is more even than this. But you should come to the library, call the library, check out the books about the 3 little pigs. And today, we're going to start our story with the classic. And I'm going to turn around sideways and see, hopefully, that you can see pictures, okay? Here we go. The 3 little pigs. There once were 3 little pigs who lived with their mother in a tiny house. As the little pigs grew bigger, the house grew smaller, and soon it came time for them to go out into the world and build the houses of their own. The first little pig hastily built her house of straw. The second little pig took a bit more time. He built a house of sticks. And the third little pig, who was smarter than the others, took the longest. She built a house of bricks. Now the first little pig was just sitting down to breakfast in her new straw house when she heard the voice of the big bad wolf outside. Little pig, may I come in? Called the big bad wolf. Not by the hair on my chin, cried the first little pig. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, growled the big bad wolf. And that's just what he did. Oh, help, help, squealed the first little pig. And do you know what? She ran to the house of sticks where her brother took her in. A little while later, the brother and sister were just sitting down to lunch in the new stick house when they heard the big bad wolf outside. Little pig, may I come in? Called the big bad wolf. Not by the hair on my chin, cried the second little pig. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. And that's just what he did. Oh, help, squealed the little pigs. And they ran to the brick house where their sister took them in. A little while later, the 3 little pigs were just sitting down to bubbling hot stew. Sure enough, they heard the big bad wolf outside. Little pig, may I come in? Called the big bad wolf. No, you may not, said the third little pig. Not by the hair on my chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, growled the big bad wolf. Go ahead and try, said the third little pig calmly. The wolf huffed and he puffed, but try as he might, he could not blow the little brick house down. Then the 3 little pigs heard noises on the roof. But the wolf had thought to try the chimney. Down tumbled the wolf, right into the cooking pot. He hopped out and scurried away, and that was the end of the big bad wolf. The three little pigs sang, and they played their favorite songs long into the night. So what do you think? Did you like that one? I've read one before where the wolf fell into the pot and died, but let's talk about the wolf side now. We've heard about the three little pigs, but this says it's the true story of the three little pigs. Till now, I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think they were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. See which side you believe. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for dear old Granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold and I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old Granny's birthday cake, and that's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed, and then I snuffed, and then a great sneeze. And then look what happened. Well, you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chin. I had just grabbed the doorbell when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed, and then I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down, just like his brother's. And when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear, sweet old Granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your Granny can sit on a pin. And I think we missed a page here. Let's go back. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. Now, do you know food would spoil if you just leave it out in the open? So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full and my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family because he had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar. And he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing, sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. So what do you think about that one? So, do you believe the pig side of the story? The wolf side of the story? Or would you like to try to read about the big bad pig, the 3 little wolves? You can read them all from the Greene County Public Library. Just give us a call and we'll check this book out to you. And in fact, this might be one of the prizes. And this is a pretty good book. It's hilarious to say the least. There's one little part, let me read to you here. This is Tiffy's favorite part. We can find it. This is about the second little house he went to. Tiffy, I've done lost it.
Right there. Right there.
This is it. House of concrete.
House of concrete.
Okay, well, we might let you, oh, here it is. Yes, this is the one. Let's read this 2 pages here to y'all, 3 pages. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. The 3 little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden when they saw the big bad pig coming. They ran inside their house, bolted the door, and locked the 37 padlocks. The pig dialed the video entrance phone and said, "Little frightened wolves with the trembling chins, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the 3 little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in. Not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called big and bad for nothing. He brought some dynamite. He laid it against the house, lit the fuse, and woo, blew the house up. And the 3 little pigs just managed to escape with their fluffy tails scorched. So if you want to find out what else happened to that story, you want to check this book out. Okay, so let's go to about your packets. I don't have one of the packets with me, but I do know. Can you take a picture of this, Miss Tiff? I do know you've got some Dots candy, you've got some toothpicks, and inside you is asked to make a little house, something like what we've got here. And then you've got a wolf picture, and you take a hair dryer, and let's see if it works. The hair dryer is supposed to represent your wolf, and you'll see if you make it strong enough to withstand the hair dryer or blow it down. But this is our little house for our little pig. And I think you've got a paper little pig to maybe color and put in your house. So I want to see your wolf, and well, I want to see your little pig houses. Unless you were talking about this one, it would be little wolf houses, but we're going to talk about little pig houses. So send me your pictures. Remember, we're going to do a drawing at the end. The winner, everybody's picture gets to be put in for drawing, and you're going to get free ice cream cones, and you're going to get the mask. And these are 3 little pigs and a big wet bad wolf mask. And that's going to be our prize for this week that we give out. But make sure you try to build some of this at home, and send me your pictures. And next week we're going to do 2 or 3 fairy tales, and it's going to be our last week. Can you believe that? Our last summer week, summer reading week. I am tired. Can you tell that? But tomorrow, this story is going to be published online, and I want you to watch it and send me your videos, your pictures, and let me know what you think. And which side do you believe? The pig side or the wolf side? But it's a great story, and I've had fun with you all this summer reading, and I'm anxious to see you next week. And then we're going to have more prizes. So have fun, have a great week, and we'll see you later.